Good evening everyone and a very warm welcome. I can see Sahu is here, Shweta is here. Good evening all of you. Education World, Sidra, Pari. Hi, hello all of you. Ragvi, I'm doing really well. How are you all doing? Vashu. Good evening all of you. Hey Sidra, Sonakshi, Zaira, Arihant. So many of you joining in slowly. Just let your friends know that the class has started and then, the more the better. Super fine. Good to read that actually. Now why I'm asking you to, tell your friends to join the class because it's a super important class from the exam point of view. Today we will be covering NCERT questions, right? We'll be discussing the solutions. We'll pick up questions directly from NCERT. And if you'll actually observe the previous year question papers, you'll realize that all the questions are being asked directly or indirectly from NCERT only. They just twist the language of the question and this makes us believe, this makes us feel that, the question is out of syllabus. But nothing beyond NCERT is ever asked. Never. Hey Arohi, Cutie, Sheetal, Anoop. So yes, today's agenda is to master all the NCERT solutions, that is from chemical reactions and equations. Really important chapter. So once we are done with this, then of course we'll discuss the application based questions as well. Good evening all of you. Alright, before we dive straight into it, first of all, quickly give me loads of thumbs up, loads of smileys in the comment section and let me know if I'm perfectly audible or visible or not. Fatafat se check the audio, check the video, check the PPT, everything. Meanwhile, I can let you know about this. As you can see on the screen, BYJU'S app, BYJU'S class is something that we've been telling you. Something that most of you must have, explored by now. If not, the link is there in the description box. So you, obviously, this link will take you to something really amazing. Go there, and if you're someone who really loves in-depth knowledge, if you're someone who really wants to, master everything in a very innovative manner, this is your one-stop source for everything. Hey Ragvi, we'll let you know that really soon. Kirtana. Kriti is already enjoying it. Awesome. Correct. So yes, in-depth knowledge is there, plus of course a lot of interesting activities are also there. There is, two-teacher model. The best part, that is the two-teacher advantage that you're getting over here. So go ahead and avail it. Hey Vasi, Geeta, Madhuri. Good evening, Muskan. I'm waiting for your thumbs up. I'm waiting for your smileys. Hey Srishti, Arvind. Thank you, Manu, for letting me know that everything is working perfectly fine. Hey Mayank. Great. Thank you for giving me all those smileys, all those thumbs up. And as I told you, this is going to be a super important class because NCERT is the base. And this is chapter number 1. So we really need to master this first before, we move on to any other chapter. This chapter contains all the equations, right? This is like the base, this is like the foundation. So aaj hum wahi master karenge, but before that, first of all, let's do one thing. Let's quickly understand the homework question that we've given you in the last class. So the question was that they've given you an equation over here and they're asking you, we have to identify the substances which are oxidized and the substances which are reduced. So PbS plus H2O2 giving you PbSO4 plus H2O. Alright, now, yes, many of you have done the homework. Quickly let me know the answer over here. I told you a small trick in the last class. Whenever such a question comes, whatever is there in the product, just eliminate that. So the answer cannot be lead sulfate, it cannot be H2O, it cannot be water. So wherever you see these options, you can just rule them out, right? You can definitely rule them out. Without even solving, you've arrived at the correct answer. See, this has PbSO4, that's on the product side, just rule it out. This has H2O, that is on the product side, you can rule it out. This also has H2O, on the product side, you can rule it out, which leaves you with the option A, that is going to be the correct answer. So these are the little tricks that you need to apply, and by doing that you can actually eliminate the wrong options. Now the substance that is getting oxidized, if we actually solve this as well, the substance that is getting oxidized, see, PbS is in a way gaining oxygen and forming PbSO4. So therefore, it is the substance that is oxidized. And H2O2 is in a way, what is happening to it? It's losing oxygen. It's undergoing reduction. So it's the substance that is getting reduced. And this brings us to the correct answer, that is option A. Yes, absolutely. Hey Jaya, Ragvi, all of you are mentioning the correct answer. I just told you the trick so that you arrive at the answer and you can cross-check it as well. Correct, the answer is absolutely right. It's option A. Yes, Manu, Srushti, Khyati. Hey Koina, it's okay. Arvind, correct answer. Now, coming to today's agenda, what are we going to do? We'll be solving questions based on physical and chemical changes, balancing chemical equations, combination reactions, decomposition reactions, displacement, double displacement, redox. We'll be solving questions based on all these topics. Yes, Muskan, we will be doing exemplar as well. Don't worry about that. Definitely, it's a big yes. We will be doing that. We will be covering that. Yes, correct. So let's get started with question number 1. I want you to be really interactive. Since we've done the chapter, I want you to keep posting the answers, and this way I'll also get to know that yes, you've understood the concept really well. Okay, so question number 1 on your screen is right here. Write the balanced equation for the following chemical reactions. Now the A part of the question is hydrogen plus chlorine giving you hydrogen chloride. So you've got H2 plus Cl2 giving you HCl. Now, if you know the answer, you can quickly post the answer. For the rest of you, I will definitely explain how to go about this. Yes, absolutely. Please is finding it really easy. Hey, I can see many of you are already starting posting answers. What I'll do, meanwhile, I'll just explain for the ones who are not able to attempt this. So the first step is to actually know which are the elements involved, and you have to count the number of atoms of those elements. So we have hydrogen and chlorine as the elements which are involved in this reaction. You can see that there are 2 hydrogen atoms and 2 chlorine atoms. So we've written 2 over here. You can see 1 hydrogen and 1 chlorine on the product side. So we've done this. We've written 1 hydrogen atom on the product side and 1 chlorine atom. So you've counted the number of atoms of every element on the reactant and the product side. Hey Sonakshi, absolutely right answer. Vashu, correct. Now, you saw that the numbers were not the same. So we obviously have to balance, right? We have to balance the number of hydrogen and chlorine atoms. There are 2 on the reactant side for each. There is 1 on the product side. I think this is the simplest balancing question that you can get. You just have to make it 2 by multiplying by 2 over here. So when you write a 2, as everybody out there is mentioning, you will arrive at the correct answer. So there you go. This is the balanced chemical equation. It's H2 plus Cl2 giving you 2HCl. Now the next part of the question is barium chloride plus aluminium sulfate giving you aluminium chloride plus barium sulfate. You start writing the answer. I know you people know the method, so you can quickly write the answer. Meanwhile, I'll do one thing. I'll explain the steps. So step number 1 is going to be same for all the questions, right? It is to write the number of atoms of every element on the reactant and product side. So we've got barium, aluminium, sulfur, oxygen, chlorine. These are the elements. And for the respective elements, we have mentioned the number of atoms. So you can see there is 1 barium over here. There is 1 barium over here. So we have written 1 on both the sides. For aluminium, you can see 2 over here, but you can see only 1 on the product side. For sulfur, it's sulfate, and overall there is a 3 outside. So yes, 3 sulfur atoms are there on the reactant side and only 1 sulfur on the product side. Oxygen, it's going to be 4 into 3, that is 12. And oxygen on the product side, you can see it is 4. Similarly, chlorine. So you see chlorine, 2 atoms here and 3 atoms here. So the first step is to write the number of atoms of every element, which we've done. And looking at this, you can clearly see that, okay, barium is 1 on both the sides. So let's start with aluminium. I'm waiting for your answers in the comment section. Quickly let me know if you've already balanced this equation. So let's balance the number of aluminium atoms now. You see that over here there are 2, as we've written 2, but on the product side there is just 1. You just have to multiply by 2, right? And what can we do? We can write a 2 over here. Now the moment we write a 2 over here, obviously aluminium is now happily balanced, but it's changing the number of chlorine atoms as well, because this is 2 AlCl3. Now chlorine atoms would be 2 into 3. Hey Arapati, Arati Senapati, absolutely right. So chlorine atoms have also changed in this, right? Now 2 on the reactant side, 6 on the product side. What do we have to do? We have to change it on the reactant side as well. So let's balance the number of chlorine atoms on the reactant side. You see a 6 on the product side, 2 on the reactant side. You just have to multiply by 3 to make it 6 on both the sides. So we have written a 3 over here. Now you can clearly see that by doing that, chlorine is happily balanced. But what about barium now? Barium is now not balanced, right? So the next step is to balance the number of barium atoms. We are seeing that there are 3 barium atoms on the reactant side now, because you've written a 3 over here. And now on the product side it's just 1. So let's multiply by 3 and there you go. Now barium is also balanced on both the sides. So we have this 3 barium sulfate. So this 3 is with barium also, sulfur also, oxygen also. Based on that, we have changed the number of oxygen atoms as well. We've made it 12. Why? Because now this is 3 into 4. That is 12. And there you go. This equation now is completely balanced. So I can make a big smiley face over here, because now this equation is balanced. Moving on to the third equation. I can see Manu, you have answered it correctly. Great. Now this is a very, very easy one. You can quickly try this one out. This says sodium plus water giving you sodium hydroxide plus hydrogen. Really, really simple one. Let's see who's going to be the first one to answer this question. You know the steps, right? You have to count the number of atoms. You can see for sodium, it's 1 on both the sides. Hydrogen, you can see 2 over here. 1 plus 2, so 3 over here. Oxygen on both the sides is 1. So let's do one thing. Let's balance the hydrogen atoms first, and let's make it 4 on both the sides. How are we making it 4? See over here. When you write a 2 over here and a 2 over here, in a way, you'll get 4 hydrogen atoms on both the sides. I can see some of you have started posting the answer. Drupad Gupta is the first one to post the answer for this one. Awesome. Great, Drupad. So yes, that is going to be correct. But hey, the moment we write 2NaOH, it's going to change the number of sodium atoms as well, right? Isn't it? Yeah. Correct. So yes, it's going to change that too. Oxygen is happily balanced, but we have to look at sodium now. So let's balance the number of sodium atoms. We can see hydrogen is completely balanced, oxygen is completely balanced. Now looking at sodium, it's just 1 on the reactant side and 2 on the product side. And I'll go by what Manu is saying right now, that we should just write, we should just multiply by 2 and write a 2Na on the reactant side to make it balanced. So correct. You people are right. Pari is also right. So there you go. This is going to be the balanced chemical equation. And now all the atoms of every element, they are equal in number. So as a whole, this is how you have to mention the answer. So there you go. H2 plus Cl2 giving you 2HCl. Then you've got the other 2 equations as well. And now all these 3 equations are completely balanced. So if you got all the 3 right, give me 3 thumbs up in the comment section quickly. And then we'll move on to the next question. Yes, definitely you can write the symbols as well. Hey, Muskan got all the 3 right. Awesome. Suresh also, Manu, Preeti, Arvind, Pari, Vanshika, Drupad. So many of you got all the 3 right. Arvind. Great. Let's move on to question number 2 now. Let's see what is question number 2. Question number 2 says, what is a balanced chemical equation and why should we balance chemical equations? So, let's see who's going to quickly type the answer as well. What is a balanced chemical equation according to you? we've just balanced equations, right? We balanced 3 equations. So I'm sure you can definitely figure out what is a balanced chemical equation. Hey Sheenal, awesome. Hey Danny, Manoj, he's saying we are balancing equations to satisfy the law of conservation of mass, which is absolutely right. But what exactly? Yes, Urmila, definitely I do. Alright, Suresh has answered this, that the atoms of every element on the reactant and the product side, they need to be same. That is what is a balanced chemical equation. So yes, you have answered it correctly. The first part of the question says, what is a balanced chemical equation? For this, for any balanced chemical equation, number of atoms of all the elements, they are going to be equal on both the sides, and that is what is, that's how we balance, right? In general also, that is how balancing is being done. Say for example, we have this equation over here. You see these numbers written over here. Now these are not numbers that we've randomly written because 2 is my favorite number. That's not the case. We have written these numbers because by writing these numbers, in a way we are making the atoms of every element equal on both the sides. Now in this equation, calcium plus oxygen giving you calcium oxide, you can see that for calcium and oxygen, the number of atoms, they are the same on both the sides. So you've got 2 calcium atoms on reactant product side, 2 oxygen atoms on reactant and product side. Correct, and I can see a lot of you have already answered why we need to balance. That is to satisfy the law of conservation of mass. So yes, that is the key point over here. And what is this law stating? So, mass can neither be created nor be destroyed. So, whatever the mass of reactants is, that is going to be equal to the mass of products. Correct, yes. Good to know that. Yes, Muskan. Yes, Drupad. Yes, Ricky. Now, we are also showing you how to present your answer. You know, you will be appearing for the board exam, so it's very important to present the answer in the right way. Now, if this question comes in the exam, the question has 2 parts to it, so the answer will also be, divided in 2 parts. First is, what is a balanced chemical equation? In that, you have to mention that, the number of atoms of every element is same on both the sides. Second is, why are we, in a way, balancing? That is to satisfy the law of conservation of mass. So don't forget to mention the keywords. Don't forget to underline the keywords. Yes, Muskan, I got it. Neither be created nor be destroyed. Correct. Alright, so the next question is on your screen now, and let's see who will be the first one to answer. These are really simple questions. So, the only problem is we don't know the presentation of it at times, and there we lose a lot of marks, isn't it? Hey, good to know you've understood both the parts. Alright, so the next part of the question says, why are decomposition reactions called the opposite of combination reactions? And we have to write the equations as well. I think there is some hint hidden in the question itself. They've already told you that decomposition reaction is in a way opposite of combination reaction. They've given you the hint in the question itself. So in case you're really confused and you just know about combination reaction, you don't know about decomposition, they've told you it's the opposite. Or vice versa, if you know about decomposition and you don't know about combination, still you can figure out the answer. Hey, correct, decomposition. Single reactant, multiple products. Yes, Vanshika is giving the symbolic representation as well. Combination, yes. We've got multiple reactants, single product. Absolutely right, all of you. Good to read the comments, good to read the answers in the comments. So yes, the first thing is to, in a way, understand what's the key word in the question. Decomposition is opposite of combination reaction. Now, when we talk about decomposition reaction, we've got a single complex reactant that's breaking into 2 or more products, right? And combination is just going to be the opposite. Yes, you are absolutely right. It's going to be just the opposite. So for combination, you've got multiple reactants, multiple simple reactants, I can say that, right? Giving you one single complex product. Hey, Sheenal, awesome. MnO2. Yes, combination, correct, Preeti. Absolutely, you people are just, you've revised the chapter really well. You people are absolutely right. So, decomposition, opposite of combination, you've understood this one. Correct. Now, say let's talk about calcium carbonate. We've got one reactant, right? One reactant, that is calcium carbonate. It's breaking to give you calcium oxide and carbon dioxide. So, you can use this example to, in a way, justify your answer as well. While when we talk about combination, what's going to happen? You will get calcium oxide plus carbon dioxide. You've got multiple reactants giving you one single product, that is calcium carbonate. Great. Alright, thank you, Muskan. Good to know you people are guessing about exothermic, endothermic as well. Now the most important part of this question, when we write the answer, how we have to present it, you have to mention what happens in a combination reaction. So, as we discussed, we've got multiple reactants that are combining to give you a new substance, that is, one product. Now, in decomposition, you've got one reactant that's breaking into multiple products. That's it. That's your answer. Now, you can use the same example only. I see a lot of you write about H2 plus O2 giving you H2O, or H2O decomposing to form H2 plus O2. Great. Alright, see, this you could easily figure out. We've discussed it a lot of times. Now let me see who's going to solve the next question. Next question is again really important. Let's see who will be able to solve this one. So question number 4 is there on your screen now. A solution of a substance X is used for whitewashing. You have to name the substance X and write its formula. And of course you have to write the reaction of the substance X with water as well. We'll solve the first part. Let me see who's going to be the first one to figure this out. Nice. Preeti has already answered. Preeti is the first one to answer this one. Drupad is also answered. Kunal. Pari. Suresh. Great. Arvind. So I'm reading out the names who are posting the correct answer right now. Mayank, Muskan, Prashant, Varsha. Hey, good to know, Drupad. Whenever you post something extra, that's, helping all your friends out there. Yes, Preeti. So, this substance that we are talking about is, as you people are mentioning over there, calcium oxide. So name the substance. The name would be calcium oxide. Write its formula. It's going to be CaO. Please don't write this as CaO. There is a reason the first letter is in uppercase, second in the lowercase. Okay, just remember this as well. Yes, CaO, correct. Absolutely right. Calcium oxide being used for whitewashing. Yes. Now, the second part of the question says you have to write the reaction with water. Kunal has already mentioned. Muskan ne bhi answer likh diya. Fatafat se answer aa gaya. Calcium oxide reacting with water giving you slaked-lime, that is calcium hydroxide. Yes, correct. Yes, you people are right. Calcium oxide is also known as quicklime. Calcium hydroxide is also known as slaked-lime. So quicklime is calcium oxide, slaked-lime is calcium hydroxide. Remember these terms, they are going to be really helpful. So, even if they try to twist the question in the exam, instead of saying, there is some equation, they are asking write a balanced equation, and instead of saying calcium oxide, if they write quicklime, don't get confused. You know what quicklime is. You know what slaked-lime is. And this is how they can twist the questions, right? But the basis is going to be from NCERT only. Yes. Correct. Plus, of course, yes, a large amount of heat is also released in this case. Awesome. So, a lot of you could answer this one. I'm really happy that you could arrive at the correct answer. From the exam point of view, please write the answer in steps. I'm telling you, it's very easy for the teacher to read your answer. These are little pointers, but they are very, very beneficial. They will definitely help you in fetching more marks. The question has a first and a second part. Don't write the answer in a paragraph form. First part of the question, of course, is name the substance, so calcium oxide, formula CaO. Now you have to write the reaction. So there you go, you've written the reaction over here. Yes, AQ is for aqueous. Yeah, slake lime is being formed. Awesome. So good to know that you could arrive at the correct answer, but please keep noting the presentation as well. So, you know, when the answer sheet looks really well, it gives an impression. It leaves an impression on the teacher that you know everything. So let's give this impression only. Kriti is giving thumbs up for both the parts. And on this positive note, let's move on to the next question. That is, write one equation each for the decomposition reactions where energy is supplied in the form of heat, light and electricity. Now, you can definitely start posting. Yes, it was exothermic. Correct, Muskan. You can definitely start posting whatever reactions you know. Meanwhile, what we can do is we can discuss the decomposition reaction. We know what decomposition reaction is, right? We know that there's a single reactant that is a bit complex and it's breaking into simpler products. Now, this can happen in the presence of energy. If the energy supplied is in the form of heat, we call it thermal decomposition. If it is in the form of light, we call it photolytic decomposition. And of course, if it is using electricity, electrolytic decomposition. We have discussed all the equations with you. So there you go. These are the equations. So you've got copper carbonate in the presence of heat. So thermal would mean heat, right? You can also put a triangle. A delta sign would also do. It's giving you copper oxide plus carbon dioxide. For photolytic, yes, you've got AgCl, that is silver chloride, which is initially, we all know, white in color, right? Correct, yes. Then you can put it on charge. Absolutely. So in the presence of light, what happens? It decomposes to give you silver and chlorine. So from a white compound, it's basically changing into a silverish grayish substance, that is silver. And that's why we keep telling you that silver compounds need to be stored in dark. So again over here, this is how they can twist the question. Yes, Prashant. So Prashant is saying for electrolytic decomposition, water is breaking into hydrogen and oxygen, and the volume of H2, that is hydrogen, is double as compared to volume of oxygen. So the ratio is 2:1. Hydrogen is to oxygen. Correct. Okay, quickly let me know, where do you find hydrogen? Is it cathode or anode? Where will hydrogen be collected? So I'll keep asking you questions in between so that I also get to know how well are you people prepared. Hydrogen, where will we collect it? Cathode or anode? And let's see who's going to answer this quickly. Drupal has already answered. It's cathode. Correct. And oxygen at anode. Yes, Prashant, right. Vanshika. Perfect. And this is how you have to present your answer in the exam. So this is how your answer sheet should look like, in a very presentable manner. You have to write one equation for each. So you've got thermal, which is in the presence of heat, photolytic in the presence of light, and electrolytic in the presence of electricity. Great. Yes, for thermal you can mention ferrous sulfate, also decomposition of ferrous sulfate. Definitely you can do that. You can mention calcium carbonate also. You can mention lead nitrate also. We've discussed a lot of examples. And yes, in photolytic also you can mention about silver bromide. A lot of equations are there. So whatever you can remember, go for it. Alright, moving on to the next question now. Which of the statements about the reaction below are incorrect? Now the first important thing is they are saying it's incorrect. So read the question properly. This is very important from the exam point of view. Lead is getting reduced. Carbon dioxide is getting oxidized, carbon is getting oxidized, lead oxide is getting reduced. So you've got, in a way, look at this equation. You've got lead oxide plus carbon giving you lead plus carbon dioxide. Let's see who's going to answer this one really quick. Yes, it can be AB, AC, ABC and all. which are incorrect. Great. Varsha says A and B. Muskan says A to pakka galat hai. Arvind is also saying A to pakka galat hai. What about B then? Is B incorrect? I told you one simple rule. On the product side, whatever substance you see, you can just put a cross. It's not getting oxidized, it's not getting reduced. Your answer will be from the reactant side. Based on this, I am sure all of you will arrive at the correct answer really quick. A, B, 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 everybody is saying, alright, let's see. Now, this is the equation that we have, right? Over here, when we talk about substance oxidized, substance reduced, we need to know what is oxidation and what is reduction. Oxidation is addition of oxygen or removal of hydrogen. Reduction is just the opposite, right? Addition of hydrogen and removal of oxygen. Now, the substance that is getting oxidized is obviously going to gain oxygen, as you can see over here. And the substance that is getting reduced will obviously be losing oxygen. I'm sure now you've arrived at the correct answer. Great, yes. Absolutely right. AB. So, we can see that lead oxide is losing oxygen. It's the substance that is getting reduced. And carbon is gaining oxygen to form carbon dioxide. It's the substance getting oxidized. So, these two statements that you see over here, these two statements are going to be absolutely right. Leaving us with two incorrect statements, that is going to be statement 1 and statement 2. So statement 1, that is lead is getting oxidized, is wrong. What is getting oxidized? It's carbon. So this is wrong. Carbon dioxide is getting oxidized. Okay, lead is getting reduced, that is wrong. Why? Because what is getting reduced? Lead oxide is getting reduced. And carbon dioxide is getting oxidized, that is also wrong because carbon is getting oxidized. Just forget what is being given to you on the product side. Your answers will always be from the reactant side. And this will actually help you to narrow down your result. Narrow down and come to the result really quick. So option A, that is statement A and B are incorrect, is the correct answer. How many of you could actually land on the correct answer in this case? A lot of you posting smileys, a lot of you posting thumbs up. Cathode, okay, cathode was for previous question. Me. Good to read that. Awesome. Alright, moving on to the next question. Again, a really important question, and I want all of you to quickly post the answer because I feel that your preparation is on point. The question says a shiny brown colored element X on heating in air becomes black in color. What do we have to do? We have to name the element X and the black colored compound that is being formed. What do you think is this X? Let's see who is going to answer this one really quick. ये वाला तो lightning speed से answer कर दो because I think the answer is really basic. Quickly. Sukhpur has already answered. Prashant, Mayank, Muskan, Amit, Srishti, Khyati, Vanshika, Madhula, Preeti, Pari, Varsha, so many of you, Arvind. Great. No wonder your preparation is on point. Absolutely right. Yes, you have identified X perfectly fine. So they are basically saying that X, that is a shiny brown. That's your hint. Shiny brown, there you go. That's your hint, right? On heating, it's giving you a black colored compound. We know that this shiny brown metal is copper. Now, when it's actually reacting with oxygen, it's forming a black colored compound that is nothing but copper oxide. Yes, you correct. So copper plus oxygen giving you copper oxide. Absolutely right. Yes, Piyush. Devendra, there is no iron in here. No. You're taking the case of rusted iron. Yes, copper oxide. And this is how you have to present your answer. So the element X is copper and the black colored compound that is being formed is copper oxide. Awesome. No. Don't get into the side of iron. That is altogether a different concept. Iron changing color comes under corrosion, right? This is about copper burning in the presence of oxygen. All right, next question on your screen now, and I'm sure many of you will be able to answer this one. Give me one sentence answer in the chat box and I'll understand if you've understood the question or not. Oil and fat containing food items are flushed with nitrogen. Why? Such questions, they already have the answer hidden in them. They've told you it's being flushed with nitrogen. Nitrogen add kar rahe hain, but why? Suresh has already answered. Rancidity, Srishti, Aradhi Senavati, Preeti, Rahul, Mayank, Pari, Sukhpur, you all are right. You all are mentioning the correct answer over here. So, we have potato chips with us. Obviously, they contain fats and oil, right? So, they are being flushed with nitrogen. This is something that's already been given to us in the question. Now, when oils and fats, they react with oxygen, what happens? They release some unpleasant smell, some unpleasant taste is there. The food gets spoiled. That is why it's being flushed with nitrogen. That is an antioxidant. So, it's inert in a way, it's unreactive, and it prevents rancidity. So, to prevent rancidity, all this is being done. Correct. Loads of thumbs up, loads of smileys your way because you've answered it absolutely right. So, it's basically to prevent rancidity. Yes, correct. Yes, Piyush. See, nitrogen is inert, it's unreactive, right? And it prevents the food from getting oxidized. Great, yes. So, it is acting as an antioxidant and it's preventing rancidity. Alright, moving on to the next question. The best part is you people are quickly answering, giving the solutions to every answer. Your speed is in a way telling me that you people have mastered all these topics really well. Okay, who's going to explain me what is corrosion now? Let's see. Let's see who's going to explain कि corrosion क्या होता है. What exactly is corrosion? What exactly is rancidity? We'll come to rancidity later because we've just discussed that. We'll first talk about corrosion. Okay, Prashant, you're giving the example. Rusting of iron. Rusting of iron. That is an example of corrosion, correct? But what exactly is corrosion? Kyadi says it's the destruction of metals. Metals ka kharab hona, degrade hona. Who else is going to try? Rusting of iron is an example. Hey Rahul, perfect answers. You can read Rahul's answer out there. It's actually like the slow degradation of the surface of metal. So when we talk about corrosion, it's a process that occurs when a metal is attacked by substances around it like moisture or acid. So in a way, slowly, what happens? It degrades. So it's a slow degradation that is happening. Where is it happening? On the surface of the metal. Correct. Yes, you can give examples as well. So over here we are talking about silver that's combining with hydrogen sulfide to form silver sulfide that is black in color. See how the color is changing over here, right? And of course H2. But yes, as you people are mentioning about rusting of iron, you can go ahead mention about iron, you can mention about copper. Okay, what happens to the copper color? Let's see if you can answer this one. After getting corroded, how is the color changing in case of copper? Green, Mayank says, yes, basic copper carbonate is being formed, which is green in color. Now moving on to the next part, that is rancidity. We've already discussed this. Rancidity basically is the process of oxidation of fats and oils which are present in food. Now due to this, what happens? The smell and taste changes. So of course, if you have your favorite food item being kept on the table for say about a day, and if you compare it with something that is say about 2 to 3 weeks later, you will not find it favorite anymore. Yeah, absolutely. So there'll be some weird smell coming out of it. Color also changes, smell changes, taste changes, everything changes for the worse. Hey, by the way, how can we prevent it? Can you quickly let me know how to prevent this? Let's see if you remember that or not. How can we actually prevent rancidity? What do you think? What can be done? Muskan has given a very smart answer ki nitrogen डाल दो. This is what we've discussed, and Preeti is giving the same answer. Sukhpur, add antioxidants. Khyati has given a really good answer. You can refrigerate. Yes. Yes, Sukhpur. A lot of you are saying, we can flush the same food item with nitrogen. But if it's packed, right? Otherwise, definitely you can refrigerate it. You can use antioxidants. That's also right. Vacuum packing is also there. Tight containers. Yes, Rishti, vacuum packing. Yes, Khyati. Correct. Absolutely right. So people remember how to prevent it. So you can apply in real life as well. So don't leave food items that contains, fats and oils for so long. Yes, antioxidant. Correct. So yes, BHA, that's an antioxidant that can be added. Alright. So let's not make it unfit for consumption. That happens when the food becomes rancid. So there you go. This is how you have to present this answer. Now, first they were talking about corrosion. So you have to mention everything about corrosion. When a metal is attacked by substances around, say, moisture, acids, this is what you have to mention. You can give any example. We have given the example of silver coins over here. Any silver article you can give. You can mention the before and after. That is what is important. Say, suppose you talk about iron. Now, from iron, it's forming rust. Mention that. From copper, it's forming basic copper carbonate. From silver, it's forming silver sulfide. So, mention the color changes as well. Second was rancidity. Of course, the food getting oxidized and it's becoming rancid. Smell and taste changing, and that is rancidity for you. You can give the example of anything, right? You can give the example of chips, french fries, whatever you like. Awesome. Correct. Yes, you people are right. Okay, so if you've understood whatever questions we've discussed till now, I want the chat box to flood with loads of smileys, loads of thumbs up. If every question that we've discussed you have mastered, and if the same question comes in the exam, you will be able to answer it perfectly fine. We've shown you the presentation as well. So over here when you're explaining, the question also said with one example each, and we tend to forget that, right? That's why we are showing you how the answer sheet should look like. Many of you are super duper happy as well. Great, good to know that. So if you've understood all these concepts, quickly like this video as well. Awesome. Hey, you can always go back, watch the video again if you're late for the class. Yes, absolutely. It feels really good when you encourage us. So quickly like this video. And yes, join us on Telegram as well. I hope you all are there. If not, the link is there in the description box. Quickly join Telegram. You'll get everything out there. You'll get session updates, revision questions, a lot of homework questions, a lot of practice questions, quiz, amazing facts. Everything is awaiting. So go join Telegram as well. And yes, you can book the session. The link is there in the description box. Book it according to your convenience. Whatever time suits you, whatever subject, whatever topic suits you, can go ahead and check this out as well. Correct. Great. Awesome, Preeti. And yes, we've got you covered. We keep telling you that we will make sure that you have a lot of practice. Because practice ka koi substitute nahi hai. We understand that. We'll be back with more questions. We'll be back with amazing set of questions for you so that you keep practicing and you keep mastering as and when we move ahead. Awesome. So yes, I can see many of you giving suggestions of what kind of sessions you want us to come up with. Keep posting it in the chat box. Keep posting it in the comments. We will definitely, we read your comments. We always personally read your comments and we try to act on them. So you can always leave your feedback. You can always leave what kind of sessions and any suggestion that you have for us, leave it over there. Yeah, correct. Alright. So, just a gentle reminder, there's a free trial class link. Go ahead and try that out. And now that we've, in a way, mastered the NCERT questions, Just a reminder that NCERT is actually the most authentic source of information. I keep telling you this because that is from where the entire question paper will be framed. So don't take it for granted. Before picking up any other book, please make sure that you've understood each and every question of NCERT, each and every word that is there in NCERT. So yes, go ahead, revise all the questions that we've discussed today. And I hope you've liked this video, you've subscribed to the channel, and you've hit the bell icon. Great. Awesome. So all right guys, keep working hard and I'll see you in the next session. Take care. Bye-bye.